Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the ESL One Katowice EU Qualifier. I'm Alex Machine Richardson, and joining me is Lauren Pansy Scott. It's going to be a cracker.
Oh, I am so excited. I can't tell the guys at home enough. Obviously, there's a lot on the line for every single team here, but it is fantastic to be back casting CS. So I'm certainly looking forward to today, and I think we're both the same in that one.
Absolutely. 327, let me get that number right, teams have already battled through. We're kind of a couple of brackets ahead, but it was a round of 500 and something at the start of this. So we've had a huge amount of teams battling for their chance to kind of go against the big dogs. It's kind of like the FA Cup. Everyone has a shot, and I really like that.
Exactly that point. And we are now down to the round of 16. So it's starting to get a little bit more heated here. It's still best of ones, bearing in mind, but there's a lot on the line, and there's some very big names in this tournament already going head to head.
Yeah, we've got some teams to watch already. We were looking through the bracket. We saw a couple of names kind of popping out to us. 3D Max, of course. You've got the likes of Natu Alu now, of course, which is very relevant.
The Finns looking strong.
Very, very strong. I mean, flip side, talk to me a bit about the Swedes.
The Swedes, it's just a great side there. You've got Schneider. I don't think I need to explain too much to the guys at home. You know, ex-Fnatic player back in the day. This guy's been there, done it. It's been a long time since I've been able to cast him. So if we get the chance to do so, I'd love to get our teeth into that one. But we're starting on a bit of a different game that's certainly a grudge match. Yeah,
grudge match, a clash of the Germans. We've got mousesports up against Playing Ducks. I know kind of the Twitch chat already seems pretty split about this one. It's going to be interesting to see which one this goes. And this is a matchup that would go, that probably be more likely to go one way previously, but we're looking at past results. We're looking at mousesports. They're looking a little bit shaky, perhaps.
Well, there are those lineup changes, as we all know about. Gobi, or Gobi, should I say, join the lineup in the place of Alu. So a little bit of a switch up there, but they still look like an extraordinarily strong lineup there. And I want to see how they perform now. First map is going to be Dust 2, and they're playing against the Playing Duck. So they know these guys pretty well. Even Chris J said on Facebook not too long ago, you know, it's going to be a tough game for us tonight. We've had some close matches against our opponents, but I think we're ready. So I think that really, for Playing Ducks, it's a chance to prove themselves against the team that everyone puts at the top of the German scene. So looking forward to this, and bearing in mind, only 2 teams can really make it through this. Yeah. So there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of potential and talent in just the starting qualifier.
Yeah, there's a huge amount of talent, and I think that's something that really appeals to me is the fact that just 2, of course, going to battle onto the offline qualifiers, which will be held at a hotel in Katowice. But before they even get there, there's just so many games they have to play, and I like that you can really go from nothing. You could just get you and 4 of your mates, and you can get to this stage. You could be going up against your mousesports, your 3D Max. And so that at the moment, we're going to be going into a bit of a grudge match. Obviously, they've clashed twice at EPS. I believe it was the summer EPS. We saw actually a pretty convincing win from Mouz Esports. It felt like it felt like a bit of a kind of pushing Playing Ducks away from this one. So coming back once again, they want to get their vengeance and push on into the next round.
And the funny thing is with mousesports, they sometimes have these great performances during the ESL Pro Series, the German finals of it. They'll always come in. They'll always be the team that can compete at the international level that everyone looks towards. But they kind of slumped a little bit there. They finished second, I believe, overall in the previous one that I had the opportunity to cast with Jason. So they slumped a little, but there's always that potential there. There was always that, you know, Chris J element that can just shine out of nowhere with the scout or with the AWP. And then you had Alu as well, previous in that lineup, being the double AWPer. So I'm looking to see where Gobi kind of fits into this role as well, because he'll be stepping into Alu's shoes. And it was quite the specific job. So I want to see if he does the same thing or if he plays a completely new role in this one. And there's a lot of other lineups who run that sort of, you know, double AWP effect. And I want to see if we see it today. Obviously, Dust 2 to kick off on. It's going to be interesting to see because it certainly allows for it to come into play. We see it time and time again these days. In you know, the tournament just a couple of days ago during MLG, you know, the double AWP was strong. And I want to see it maybe coming back into feature today. I just think we're waiting on the teams now. They are in the server. We'll be jumping in as soon as they're ready. But yeah, for me, I think this should be mousesports' game, but it wouldn't be the first time they've slipped if it happens. And I think Dust 2 is make or break for them because they used to be so prolific on it.
Yeah, so this is kind of the map for them to kind of bring it home. Of course, it's a best of 1, so it all comes down to this. And you said before, we were just looking at it, before you even saw the picks and bans, you were like, it's going to be Dust 2. You were so very aware of like both teams being comfortable on it. And I mean, if ever this grudge match was going to be played, it's a map which both these teams know inside and out, or every team, let's be honest, knows inside and out at this stage. And so it's going to be really interesting to see if, you know, mousesports, if this change has really knocked them down a peg or two. I can understand why it would. When you lose someone who's always at the top of the scoreboard, who obviously plays that second AWP position, taking that away could be a bit more than just losing a player. It could be losing like almost 2-3 men equivalent. You know, this is a big change for them.
Yeah, and speaking of a player at the top, last time these two faced off, Alu was by some margin, very much at the top of those games during the ESL Pro Series. So something that we can turn our minds to see how now Gobi, or Gobi, I keep saying Gobi.
Gobi's fine.
No, Gobi steps into that role. If he can play it the same, if we'll be seeing the double AWP on Cat or the double stack. They used to love doing that boost on the CT side, getting on short, double stacking up, not only being on C mid, but then into those B tunnels. I wonder if that's even still an option anymore for mousesports. But there's a lot of things on the line here, and a lot on their plate to deal with, because it's best of one times, and we know what happens in best of ones. A lot of teams suffered that kind of fate during those the tournament just a couple of days ago. So I think it's something to look towards to see where mousesports are kind of playing. You know, Zonic's coming in as well. A couple of changes here and there. They could still be in that honeymoon period that when you make those small changes to a lineup, you start feeling, you know, fresh. Oh, everything's starting to work again. But when does that honeymoon period stop? When do you start having those real ground to the hard games where you have to really kind of trench through it?
Well, it's the hard games. That's exactly when things can start falling apart, because you have a new roster and things can feel good because you've got this change, this new feel about it, and it can go well. But as soon as you start getting tested, it's the tests that can throw you off, because when you've played for a long period of time, in any game, I mean, across all of esports, if you've had a lineup that's been together for a long time, they deal with those issues so much better, or they usually do. You know, when you start losing a couple of pistol rounds and you're sat there thinking, guys, what's
happening?
Yeah, and your communication dies down. When you've got a new player, they may not be used to your way of coming back from that. And I think that's something they have to bear in mind.
I think it is indeed. We'll have to wait and see how they kind of come through this one. They are still warming up. They are all in the server. We're just waiting on everyone to be prepared and ready for this. But once again, you guys in chat, it's great seeing you all turning out for this, of course. CSGO is pretty much, you know, the game of the moment. So do make sure you kind of give us a little bit of a nod on Twitter as well with your predictions of the first matchup. There's a lot of fans out there for playing Ducks, which kind of surprised me a little, because you'd always put mousesports first, in my mind at least. So obviously, they call me Pansy for myself, and @Machini TV for this man here. Let us know who you think is going to come out on top. It's a best of one, bearing in mind it is Dust 2. You know, go look up the stats on HLTV, have a little mull through it and see how you feel, because there's a lot of difference out there to these two teams, how they maybe play this map. I'm just not sure where I put my money, because mousesports seems so different to where they were, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, mousesports previously, I mean, you cast your mind back just a couple of months, and they were getting close results. We saw some close results against Cloud9, and I mean, looking at these are big names. They even, I think they bested Virtus Pro, I believe, in a game quite recently. Of course, it is on Overpass, but I mean, overall, yeah, they've got some good results. This is their time to start climbing that ladder, climbing the bracket. Obviously, we're in the round of 16 now of this qualifier. Obviously, I will start repeating myself for those of you that have just joined us. This is the ESL One Katowice 2015 EU qualifier, and the top two teams of this one go on to proceed to Katowice for the offline qualifiers. So that's a big opportunity for these teams, and I mean, they're going to be giving absolutely everything that they have in order to get there, and it's going to be really intriguing to see as these two titans, the EPS kind of rivalry, is brought to a different arena. We're going to the Katowice,
and there's so many good teams in this bracket. That's the thing. It's a huge amount of big players coming through, and with only 2 slots available to make it even to the chance of qualifying, it's tough competition from the very offset. You know, it sounds like we had this massive bracket, which we did with those 327 teams, but when it really boils down to it, the round of 16 is where it heats up, because every team who's made it this far has had to work so hard on it that, you know, any game going forward is going to be good. And
it comes down to a best of one. You know, you've highlighted this already. The fact that it is a best of one is such a test of your team's morale, as well as just your ability to kind of deal with deficits quickly. Because I mean, you see some teams and they'll go 6 rounds down and they'll be like, move on to map 2, start thinking about map 2, and I mean, obviously that's not necessarily always the case, but when you're in a best of one, you can't afford to let these rounds start falling away. Momentum is going to be so key as we dive on into this one. I've already highlighted how much is on the line. I mean, a ticket to Katowice for that major is going to be, I mean, it's huge. And so, I mean, these guys are going to be really giving it their all as we go on into this one. And we've already said, though, guys, Dust 2 is going to be the map. Mousesports up against Playing Ducks is this matchup. And Lauren, I hate to push you for predictions. I know you've already highlighted that you may be setting a little bit on the mousesports side of things, but is that definitely where you're going to be putting your money?
I want to see the first buy round. I think maybe, I don't know if you could even read into it that much. I want to see a little bit from mousesports before I go, yeah, that's all them. I'd say in previous lineup form, you know, in the way you'd mentally assume what mousesports are like, I'd say mousesports, just because they've always seemed to best Playing Ducks. But I don't know how well the lineup changes have gone for them. I haven't had the opportunity to watch them as much as I'd like to have, and just see how it's really kind of affected their team composition, how they really go through Dust 2 now, because it was one of their home maps, and it was something they were always very strong on. However, as I said, not seen enough of it, but I think that there's a lot to be seen just in those opening rounds. How they take the pistol out, how they then kind of go forward. Will they go for the scout straight away? Do they not feel comfortable with that? Chris J, I think, will answer that question with a yes, but you never know just as it's kind of starting. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes. I think they're going to be ready for the knife any second now, so we can actually have a little look in towards game and see how this one goes. Knife round, not the biggest thing in the world, but certainly something you want to get started on towards your side.
Yeah, well, you've already highlighted that the first couple of rounds are going to be real indicative is a word. Indicative of where this game is going to go. And so kicking this one off, have fun in chat. We're going to kick off straight onto the knife round. And you're right, I think you're right. The first pistol is one of those ones you've got to keep your eye on and see where the first knife round, I did just say pistol, is going to see where this one goes.
Yeah, and I think mousesports are a side that likes CT, that likes T. By the way, guys at home, let us know on Twitter and in Twitch chat how the volume is sound-wise. Is it too loud in-game, too quiet? Are we too quiet, too loud? Let us know. We like to hear from you, and you guys give us the best feedback. So do get involved in Twitch chat. We will be watching, because obviously it's the knife round. So give us feedback. And at the moment, it's a pretty cautious one, to say the least.
Yeah, taking their time with this one. No real blood has been drawn just yet. Just dancing around, just two, couple of slashes here and there. Finally, we do see one from Trouble. It looks like mousesports are responding in force. Leveling it out, though. Looks like Crispy was looking for something. There's just knives at dawn. This is so different to the knife rounds I used to commentate way back in Call of Duty. No lunge in here. We do see finally it go towards the T side, and mousesports secure the knife round quite convincingly with just 3 members remaining.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see if they actually stay. I'd like to see them playing the T side. I don't think they are. They're going to pick CT up here, but kind of curious how this one pans out for them. Looking for that double AWP effect, maybe if they still utilize it. Gobby, certainly a player who probably can. I haven't seen him play enough. That's the thing I want to find out. Last time I even saw him was at those EPS finals behind mousesports, kind of coaching, watching, but then mousesports full contracted up now, making it a real commitment from the organizational side. He's joined in, he's looking confident, he's looking like he's in the lineup. So as you can see, we're just waiting on the teams, but to give you that roster rundown for mousesports, Legia, Troubly, Zonix, Gobby, and Chris J. And on the other side, do you want to take us through it?
Rock and roll. So Playing Ducks bringing Tapson, Keeve, KZY, Crisby, and of course Kirby as well. And I mean, this is going to be so interesting. I cannot highlight enough that there is a real rivalry. There's a sense of tension between these two teams, and laying down the opportunity to get themselves to a major, this is a big one.
Certainly is, and this first pistol, going to be huge as ever. I don't think we need to explain the gravity of how important it is, but just for that confidence boost, best of ones, everything comes down to this. So let's take it from the T-side's point of view, see where they're going to head towards. It looks like, a bit of armor, and then we got the smokes, a decoy, and a couple of flashes. Maybe a mid to B, not too sure just yet. We'll have to see where they decide to take this one out for the T-side, which will be Playing Ducks and mousesports on the CT. So already a bit of a split here. Nothing too massive happening just yet. And the triple stack on long will be dissipated from the CTs and going to fall back. So already, it looks like it could be a mid to B. I'm waiting to see if someone gets towards Xbox, gets that smoke going, and tries to hit that B site hard.
Yep, so taking their time with this one. Playing Ducks don't want to really reveal just too much. Yeah, it looks like they're going to be lining up that smoke for CT. Crisby going to be plopping that one down quite nicely and snugly, as that's going to be a little bit of the first sign of where Playing Ducks are planning on pushing with that bomb. Still bomb very, very cautiously kept around that long doors.
Yeah, maybe trying to fake it out a little bit, draw someone in. They still have another smoke to utilize. That's on KZY or KZY. And it looks like they're going to go for a late push here. This could work out quite nicely. No one's really watching CT. It looks like Chris J will drop, but the T side already breaking through, and it's going to be down to the players on towards B. Legia does get picked up on long, and already this mid to B play from Playing Ducks is kind of getting halted at those double doors.
Yeah, and they're backing away. Looks like they're going to be making moves towards that tunnel area. Just Tamsin kind of still caught out with that bomb somewhat. You can see he could be in trouble. He wants to keep that bomb safe and sound. Still feels like he's going a bit of a lone wolf approach with this one, as once again things look to be dying down. 4-4, numbers leveled out, but health bar not so much. You can see already Tabs has got just a scrap of health on that T side. Actually, nice pick up from Kirby. Quick response though from Zonix, as once again the numbers are level and that bomb and the time still ticking away.
Yeah, 15 seconds though, not a lot to work with. The T side need to make their mind up. That slightly hesitant play through mid not paying off, and now Zonix are waiting on the B side, peeks out. KZY picks up a beautiful shot, but Chris J waiting on the push, picks up KZY, and now with merely 2 seconds left, Chris J goes in for the push. T side do get the bomb down, but it should be a comfortable defuse, and mousesports will pick up the first round.
It felt like they were just playing a little too hesitant on that clock there. They had the right idea. That slow push felt kind of effective, and thing that held them back most was the pressure that the time brought.
Certainly was. I like the kind of fake out of mid to B, but then zero commitment maybe held them back a bit. It allowed Chris J and Co to kind of get in position, and already a little bit of a scout shot through there. And this is what I was looking towards seeing, actually. The scout play with a little bit of deagle in there, so you get those one-shots coming through. And the CT side seemed cautious, as you'd expect. Already, though, a little bit of a hold from Nikisha along, but nothing too crazy just about now. It's about maybe getting a couple of guns away from the CTs. Chris J being so low, it could open the possibility of a mid to B again, or just maybe work towards A.
Yeah, it looks like they might be considering a push towards that A site. Of course, they do have that scout to crack open into the site. Troubly is going to be ready to receive it, and cautiously as well. You can, don't forget his partner in crime, Chris, is looking a little low on HP, just 17 for him, but he has a scout in hand as well. So scout v scout, KZY cautious to peek, and rightfully so, as he's just going to be edging closer and closer to his demise.
Yeah, Chris J waiting. He's going to hold the safest angle he can, and maybe KZY will spot him, but no, Chris J, the king of the scout, does come into practice. Now Troubly waiting out, picks up the bomb plant, and they're dealing with them so well. One by one, singling them out, and Chris J now being very cautious, but Crispy has found Troubly, and that should be the plant on the go.
Yeah, and I mean, Troubly was kind of all falling to his shoulders there, and he didn't quite manage to do what matters. Now Godby trying to clear his name already. Great play from Chris J, and Godby rattling in some frags for them as the CTs look to be retaking this site. Last bullet put into the brain of Crispy to bring the round home, and you're right, that was so clinical. Just losing one man, yes, it was Troubly. He was in a prime position, but he was also, his whereabouts were known, and so managing to go down, but fantastic round on the board for Mousesports, and very slow and steady way to defend that site.
Yeah, very much so. 2 plants, though, in a row for the T side. They might be able to go for that early buy if they fancy it. It's down to them, 4.2, 2.8, maybe not what they want. Maybe we're just going to go eco this one out again with just the pistols beside them. Very clean, it seems, so they can fully get into this. And I'm surprised Chris J was able to stay alive that long, if I'm completely honest with you. That early tag through the double doors was near enough to send him home packing. However, goes back straight again, looking for more trouble. Tabson in mid, going to be moving straight down, and maybe a quicker play from the T side.
Yeah, Tabson's making a swift move towards short, and looks like he's just going to try and catch someone out around that CT exit. Not going to happen, though. Maybe now questioning his decision. Does have that PT50, and actually struggling to connect anything. Troubly put a bullet into his brain, and straight away the T side are going to be starting to take a bit of a slower approach, as already one man has gone down.
He almost caught him off guard as well. A second away, I'd say, but still. T-side now have to come up with other options. They only have one flash. Maybe mid to B is what they intend, but you can already see that Godby is ready and waiting. Spots out for on the cross. It's going to be a big push here. It drops out the molly. You've got Zonix waiting, just going to corner them in here, but Godby goes down, but Zonix still stands, and a dominant play coming out from Troubly then. And a nice way to pick up the 3rd round in a row. T-side not really able to make too much of a dent, but this is the round we're waiting on, the first buy-up.
Yeah, this is going to be a big one now for Playing Ducks. Try and level out the rounds. They need to pick this one up, and they need to do it in a very efficient fashion. Of course, you can really see a scout, couple of FAMAS on the side of the Mousesports side. They're kind of keeping their bank nice and light. As Keith with that AWP, it's a big investment already, and he's trying to connect something towards those mid doors, but I think they've worked it out, put 2 and 2 together, and back away quite safely. As again, the T side maybe going to be considering this move towards mid. You can see Tabson and Kirby in the tunnel area trying to get a pick through the doors.
Just taking their time. The T-side are in no rush right now. Maybe going to try and cause someone to rotate a little further than they want to, maybe force Troubly, but this looks quite aggressive. Godby is quite close, however. Nice little flash over. Could catch out Tabson. I think he caught enough of a glimpse and to know there are people still around here. So deep enough nades, a nice little smoke, and just brilliant play from Godby already. Just gathering that information slowly but surely, and that's all you want to do. And we are seeing what could be a 3-2 split, 3 around mid, maybe looking towards short. 2 by long. Nothing yet really committed by the T side, though. 51 seconds left. They've got time to play with. Yeah, and I think they're going to make the most of every single second that the clock has still given them. You can see, just looking for a pick somewhere. Quite aggressive play from the CTs. As Godby pushing up alongside his partner in crime, Zonix, on that B. So, of course, Godby plays on B. Of course, just as if we couldn't get more confused. As he's actually going to make his move once again towards middle. That bomb's still in the same position. Keith hasn't really been able to do too much with that AWP yet, and he's closed the gaps, got pretty close quarters with them. 25 seconds on the clock, and the T side need to make a move, and they need to make a move now. Well, that's a 3-2 split, but it is towards B. 2 awaiting the tunnels. The mid to B smokes out, but Godby stands, picks up Keith, picks up KZY, but Crispy finally breaks through.
Yep, looking good. Zonix takes another one. Crispy quick to respond, though. Troubly down and out. Nice again from Legia. As you can see, just one man remains, and it's going to be Kirby. He's backing out of there as he can just save that AK for a rainy day. And Playing Ducks, they had their chance, and they blew it.
Yeah, liking this play from mousesports. It looks like there's so much more fluid with Gobby in here. He just seems to be able to fill any role necessary, whether it be pressure mid a little, fall back in towards B. Him and Zonix just have that really nice cohesion, and it's working well. So far, clean stuff. But then again, we've seen, what, 3 rounds of pistols from the T's and 1 buy-up. So it's not too much to see from Playing Ducks yet. Kirby, the man who was able to take away a gun from this. But already Chris J finding Keeve in mid, not going to help this round out.
No, already at a deficit. So just a couple of pistols, a Tech 9, 2 Tech 9s and a P250. Alongside that, AK already seen saved up. Tech 9, great play from KZY to Tabson as well. And Playing Ducks chiming in with 2 frags already. Troubley trying to get into damage control mode. Does manage to equalize onto Tabson, but I mean, this could go either way at this stage. Legia is trying to stalk away from behind the bomb. Is going to be heading onto the B side. Zonix ready to receive.
Beautiful flash, though, slowing down too, allowing merely one to come out. Going to try and play the time, play it right. But actually, Kirby finds his own teammate. And now Troubley and Legia going to be trying to retake this one. The T side will get the bomb down. Kirby on 15 HP. It's going to be tough to hold, but still. Legia through tunnels. Troubley flashing in. Waiting for a peek, he knows where one is, looks for the other, and beautifully done, clinical retake. And the T side, at least they got the bomb down, they took down 3 players, and it seemed to do enough of the work.
Yeah, very efficient play from the Playing Ducks side, and I mean, it tests mousesports. It reminds them that they are definitely not out of the woods just yet. 5-0 is the scoreline, and that's the power of the Tech 9.
Yeah, pretty much bursting through mid then, but just looking at the scoreboard, you can see where the hits are kind of coming towards the CT side. Troubley, who's been playing mid, pretty much rotating away whenever needed. Just going to be receiving a lot of the kills. 8-2, so he's certainly handling it. And now we'll be seeing Playing Ducks back on the buy. However, Kiev going to go maybe for the opener on towards long here. This could change things up.
Could, and it does. Takes down Legia straight away. That strong presence on long has been neutralized, but Troubley looking to pick up where he left off, and looks like they're not particularly interested as already the rotates coming in.
And maybe this was the plan. Maybe they want to head back over. They still have Kirby in those B tunnels. If they can find out that maybe Gobby over-rotated a little. They are, however, sending Troubley back. It could still be up in the air. If the T side are hesitant to make a play off this, we are seeing that mid to be smoke. This could still go wrong, and Troubley right up close and personal could catch some out in mid.
Yeah, and it felt like that was just a little too slow from Playing Ducks. They did get the pick. They had that kind of perhaps a bit of a bait. They hung it, and it looks like mousesports did bite, but now time passing, and once again, they're falling into this trap of taking just a little too much time. Troubley gets caught out, though, trying to over-push through mid. Kirby was the man to pick up that frag, and now just 3 CTs remain and a fully bought up T-side, making a move to short.
Dangerous play from Gobby there. Gets caught out on the way down. Kiev doing marvelous work for the Playing Ducks points. This should be their first round, but Zonix now, is he going to commit for this? 4 players here. Straight through the smoke. He's going to have one along. Finds one. Not enough, though. And Playing Ducks, once they got that opener, waiting for the rotate, picked the harder challenge, but they still got the round in the bag. However, the CT side can still buy, so not a huge impact just yet. But still, nicely done for the Playing Ducks. A little late, but better than never.
Yeah, but it's kind of now or never at this stage. As you can see, Keeve looking for a pick. It's going to just be calling it out. 2 players making perhaps even 3 cross towards mid. Doesn't quite connect. The flash was enough to obscure his vision, but look at the damage that was done to him. Just 3 HP. Done and dusted, and so Keeve with that bomb, we can see that the T side hesitant to commit just yet towards the site. The lack of picks so far could be putting Mouz in the driving seat of this one.
Yeah, and it's an interesting double stack here. Towards mid, Gobby there, close, flashed up. He does still have Troubley waiting to assist. Kirby goes for the push, goes for the peek, does take him down. So the T side clearly able to open up now, feeling a little bit more confident to go for these picks and plays in mid. Molly, followed by the flash. Gobby now has to keep control here. However, KZY edging out cautiously. Chris J is awaiting. This could go very badly wrong.
Yeah, he has an AWP in his hand. He has the hand cannon. And just keeping his eye on that smoke, ready for anyone to emerge or to dare push out from short. Nade just making his whereabouts known, and instead put a face on that one. And Chris J holding the angle safe and sound for the mousesports side.
And just waiting it out. He does have backup now coming for Playing Ducks, and the AWP will be challenging, but Kiev is on 3 HP, so a tough one to get in the bag here for Chris J, but he waits, looking for the pixel. He spots it, but doesn't get the shot, but goes back for seconds, claims Kiev. The push comes out from the T side. It's 2 making their way towards site. Finally, it'll be Kirby joining them, but Legia comes round, finds Crisby. It's 1 man, 2, excuse me, standing. Well, it is 1 now, as just Kirby alive, gonna be found, and just Chris J able to stay alive so long, keeping mousesports in that round.
Yeah, and he may not be connecting the shots, but surviving was enough. The fact that there was an AWP presence on the site, that's what they were looking at. And it allowed Legia to just pick up the frags left, right, and exact center to pick up that one. And pick up another round. 6-1 now for Mousesports, advancing quite nicely in the first half of this best of one. Trying to fight to qualify or to move forward. As you've already seen, opening frag from Kiev, taking down Chris J. And that's kind of this, maybe indicative of how this round may go. Playing Ducks already advancing pretty well off the back of these AWP picks, but we'll see how far this one gets them. Troubly is going to be taking AWP this round, snatching it away from Chris J's cold, dead hands. As once again, the T-side taking their time.
I like the way the T-side is starting to play now. Certainly pushing Mousesports a little bit harder, but regardless of that, it's a 6-1 scoreline. Ideally, you want to get a couple more on the board here, but looking how long it's making it going aggressive. He does manage to find Crispy, so evening up to a 4v4. Very big pick there, but down very low, and Kiev looking like he wants the early challenge, backs away. Maybe looks for another option.
Yeah, so aggressive with just 12 points of health. He wants to have that element of surprise, and I mean, the bomb is just around the corner as well. Risky play from the Playing Ducks side, and you can see they have managed to sneak their way into mid. Smoke's going to be coming out. They are perhaps going to be looking to progress on towards this B side, but Gobi is ready. He has the incendiary in hand, and he's going to be putting flames at the feet of this terrorist side. Yeah,
and Zonic still awaiting as well. Gobi does find one pushing in, but pressure comes out from every angle. Now Zonic's just alive here, 2 already, looking for his 3rd. Finds Kiev pushing out those B tunnels, gets the tag, not going to follow up with the kill. And now just Kiev 1v2. He might be able to get the bomb down here, but not going to be easy. Player from the tunnels, it's Legia, quick on the rotate and maintaining a strong lead for Mousesports in this one. 7-1, it's looking a little dire for the T-side now, especially with the money kept in mind. 2K, 1.9. You're looking at a clean eco probably here.
Clean eco, and we've seen already Mousesports deal with them so very well. There's no over-pushing, there's no real mistakes, or it's not just yet anyway, from the Mousesports side. So expecting a clinical defense of this eco. Let's say that. We see Chris J fluffing his lines on a bit on those mid picks with the AWP and made his whereabouts known. And look at that, you can see now the T-side seeing that this is a chance to snatch an AWP out of a CT's hands, and they're going to try it.
Yeah, why not? You might as well go slightly aggressive when you feel you have the opportunity. Maybe forcing Troubly to force push down towards that CT side. However, no real commitment just yet from the Ts. They are working up short. We've got a little bit of a challenge from Crispy there in mid, but they are slowing themselves down a touch, but they need to catch someone off guard, find that opener, maybe get a gun away, see what they can do, because really they've got P250s in a Tech 9. It's not the easiest one to pick up here.
No, and look at that, they're just so edgy, trying to bait out something. They do. Troubly goes down. KZY, bullet to the brain of Troubly. Chris J quick to respond though. He has that AWP. He needs to keep his eyes on the prize. They're going to move to the side. T-side going to be desperate to just get that bomb down, get a bit of extra money in the bank. And it looks like Mousesports doing what we expect. Nice play from Legia, just tapping away on the AK, looking for that final frag. It looks like Kirby, with just a Tech 9 in hand, is going to do his best to evade the fire for a while. Finally just come home, and Mousesports pick up the 8. And as expected, it seems to be a bit of a habit of theirs. They just like to lose just that one man.
Yeah, they're doing wonderfully in this. And considering every single player is holding their own, Zonix is the lowest on the board, but we saw how well he played when they actually fully committed to a B push. You know, a 3-2 split through mid. He picked up everything he needed to. So everyone playing well for Mousesports. This looks like a confident side. They look different from how they used to play, which is quite interesting. However, just as dangerous, just as potent. We're seeing a little bit more aggression at long. Chris J actually focusing here, first of all, rather than at mid.
Yeah, maybe anticipating something different from Playing Ducks, and I mean, rightfully so. You can see Crispy almost ready to jump into the jaws of Chris J, but nope, not expected to happen just yet. Chris J backing away after revealing his position, and instead you can see Tabson has snuck once again through the double doors. Looks like Troubly is going to be ready to receive him, though, as the smoke is going to be coming in. Actually, no, it's a flash, and that's going to mean he can pick up the frag straight into the head of Tabson, and that's already T down, and they're going to be trying to perhaps continue this push. That sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, the amount of smokes, flashes, nades, everything the CT side were putting towards them will really put them out of this one. And it's so hard for them to weaken this mid to B play, because Zonix will just sit out, chill here, will completely dedicate himself towards these tunnels. Kiev will have to play out of his skin to get it, but we are finally seeing that play coming through. The little bit of aggression from KZY doing the damage, finding 2 through mid. And now we're going to have to wait and see if they can find maybe the kill towards Zonix, who's been a bit of a statue on this B side, but he's been doing brilliant stuff, but this time not good enough. And we will be seeing KZY single-handedly almost just ripping apart Mousesports. And you just can't expect singular performances like that every round, but he just got, I think, 4 in that round, doubling his score. Beautifully done.
Yeah, fantastic execution from the individual. And Playing Ducks, they need more of that. You've said it already, they can't rely on these single performances. I'm pretty sure the previous 2 rounds, or the only 2 rounds that Playing Ducks have secured, have been from just that outshining single player. And that's not something you can rely on as we continue in this tournament. 8-2 now.
Ooh, we can see the double stack
Yeah,
short.
they are stacking on towards short. They're looking to catch out this terrorist sign. I think they're going to do just that. The flash does come in, though, and that's going to put Kirby in an advantage. Takes down Chris J. It's an AWP down and out, but looks like they weren't expecting Legia, and Legia's going to do great work picking apart 2 Playing Ducks members, and that's going to put a spanner in the works now. As now 4 vs 3 numbers favoring the CT side.
And they know where the bomb is. That is big play coming through there. Gobby now actively peeking towards short, trying to keep eyes on anyone, trying to get that bomb back. And look at this from Legia. He knows where they're going to be. Goes for the peek. Does get the tag. Challenging out an AWP on long. It's dangerous play, but a man of his caliber certainly doing it. 12-3 so far. And now, the 2 players left for the T side, going to have to put in some serious work here to get past Legia, Zonix, and Gobby. So, faking out maybe that mid to B smoke. It has kind of drawn away Legia, so I guess it kind of works. So they should at least be able to get a bomb plant here. Nicely done from the T's. Smart play.
Yeah, they're managing to bait them away, and Mind Games paying off for Playing Ducks, trying to find and secure any surprises they're perhaps expecting to see from the mousesports side. And great positioning from Kirby. He could catch them out here. Smoke and flash coming in from either side, and they just needs to connect a bullet, take one out, level the numbers, and here comes the forcer from mousesports. Not going to happen, though, as 2 swift frags brings the round home. That's the 9th now on the board for mousesports. And the T side, they get so close every single time, and it just seems to be that experience is favouring the mousesports side.
Certainly is. Making, let's say, firm use of the CT side. Looking like they mean business going on, as you said. Big round coming through. 12th round coming up. T side, a little bit lost for cash at the moment. A little bit lost for maybe direction. You know, yeah, it's the T side, but 2 rounds isn't great. Let's put it that way. 2 rounds, you want more. They're getting so close, as you say. Every time they'll get a couple of plants, and now left to this mixed buy. You've got, what, a Galil in here, a Tech-9. Nothing great to work with. Cube doesn't actually even have armor, neither does Kirby. So a bit of a glass cannon lineup, and it looks like we might be even seeing an all-in B play. Oh, Cube doesn't get the shot off, and Gobby turns around and says, not today. And the T-side left struggling once again.
Here they come. Zonix is ready to receive the smoke. In fact, Gobby's alongside him. This should be do or die for the T-side. It looks like they're going to choose die. Nice play from mousesports, especially Zonix just chiming in with 2. Looking for the 3rd, and he picks it up with ease. 2 clicks of his mouse, and the 10th round now on the board for mousesports.
Made it look far too
so
easy then.
Easy. I mean, I look at them. That's like they had kind of. They're just looking at the sofa now for any sort of change they can find, any penny to get them back into the game. And you can see a Tech-9 now in the hands of Kirby, and it's not looking great for Playing Ducks.
Certainly not. Just the Tech-9 for Kirby. P250 for Kiev. Maybe they can get a bomb plant, but it feels like the more Mouse get confident in this, the better they play. And they do seem to really thrive off that, but let's see if Playing Ducks can maybe pick up something here. They're starting to struggle a little bit, and Chris J waiting on the site. Probably going to make it harder. Connecting shots like that is not going to make it easy to get towards that A site.
Yeah, and that's going to be perhaps the first nail in the Playing Ducks coffin. You can see their head lining up to try and test Chris J's reactions, and he does actually manage to miss that one, but Troble's not going to be making that same mistake. Taking down Kirby. Looks to be a bit of a bloodshed over on that short area. Bomb is loose, and the T-side getting nades and bullets thrown at them from every direction. No members yet to fall from Mouse Esports. They're playing this as efficiently as they possibly can. Last 2 frags come home, and the 11th round on the board. And they're going to be seeing just a little bit more money. That's going to enable a pretty standard buy. Nades, full armor for majority of them, in fact for all of them. And they have their AKs. It's cost them a lot, though, and this round is incredibly important for the Playing Ducks side.
Yeah, massively so. Going into the second half with 2 rounds.
Ouch.
Not exactly what you want. However, let's see if they can pull something back. There's still an opportunity. They're getting so close, as we keep seeing, but with Chris J landing shots like he was last round, it's so damn hard. We are seeing, once again, that presence along coming out from Crisby. He does like occasionally going for the challenge here. Might be able to find something on Legia. Legia starting to get a little aggressive. Maybe feeling that confidence. Goes for the peak, doesn't get it, and Crisby will actually pick up the first here. So maybe a chance for Playing Ducks to get into this round.
Yeah, they need to make the move. The bomb's around him as well. See, Chris J is kind of wondering, where's the action at? This isn't what I'm used to. Trouble did land the nade onto Crisby, though. That was that dinked health from his altercation with Legia. Now, just lying in wait. You can see the T side are opting for that A site, just hanging around with that bomb. It's going to be a great play from Kiev. That's the AWP now down. That's going to be the cavalry start charging in towards this site. Trouble's going to try and back away. He does so to safety. Has the Marley to drop and make a little hot feet for them. But look at this from Godby. Great play, picking away the assault from the T side. Picks up 2, and now it's 2v2.
Beautiful play from Gobby. Now, as you said, 2v2 bomb is down. Kirby and Keeve alive. Keeve seems to be the only man who can deal with Chris J, and can he deal with any more? Gobby going for the Kelly. Oh, don't do it to me again. But Zonix there on long finds Kirby, leaving Keeve in a 1v2. Zonix and Gobby just carefully playing it through. Keeve on 5 HP, using the smoke as best he can and waiting it out. He can still do this, spot Zonic, and Zonix denies. And mousesports looking formidable now.
That was Playing Duck's real chance to kind of start climbing back just a little bit, trying to close this gap before the second half, but not going to happen. mousesports just seem to be playing everything as they should at this stage, playing their time, playing it right, and with a scoreline of 12-2, Playing Ducks need to go back to the drawing board and start thinking about that second half.
Yeah, I think that's the fairest statement we can make. At a 12-2 scoreline, it does get a little bit much.
I mean, it's
but
overwhelming.
It's round by round, I guess, for these guys. They're experienced players. It's nothing new to them to be down, you know, a couple of rounds and have to work their way back. But Chris J already fighting KZY. Only responded to on long, though, so Legia going down means that Troubley can't exactly drill his focus towards short. Spots one going towards pick, claims it. And now 4v3.
Yeah, Crispy potentially looking to challenge here and does so, tagging away on Troubley, but nothing to write home about just yet. He's not going to connect a single bullet. There seems to be a kind of do-or-die approach to the Playing Ducks style here, and you can see again another frag exchange in that tunnels area. Zonix coming up big once again, and Zonix, I mean, a bit of an unsung hero on that B site. Every single time that the Playing Ducks side have considered a push towards B, he has just shut that down and made them consider that perhaps not even an option. And nice play from Keeve. He's going to push through those doors and shut down Gold B, and that presence is not going to go unnoticed. Chris J quickly going to be big positioning himself, but Smoke is in there in response.
Yeah, but Zonix waiting, going to force them maybe to go window or wait out that molly, allow his teammates time to come around behind, and Chris J does just that, picks up the double. And that is brilliant stuff from mousesports. Looking good overall. 13-2 though, that's got to be demoralizing for Playing Ducks now. Gosh,
yeah, they're going to be feeling pretty shaky off the back of that one, as mousesports 13 rounds already in the bank for them. Of course, don't forget, guys, this is a best of 1 at this stage of the tournament. We're in that round of 16, and they're all battling to advance towards the possibility of, I mean, there's 2 slots available. 2 slots of 327 teams competing for them. It's a big one, and at the moment, Mouz Esports showing a pretty good case of why they should be advancing at the moment. 13-2, very strong performance from them. And Playing Ducks, it just felt like they were bested every single step of the way. Every single round, it felt like mousesports had the advantage.
I can't agree more. Zonix 14-5, and Zonix was a quieter player through the early stage of this game, then started to get aggressive towards those tunnels. We saw him pushing in towards the end, then picking up in the lowers. Gob B as well, rotating quickly towards mid, if not A. Troubley just playing well. Chris J being unstoppable on the A-bomb site. And Legia along. It's been stunning to watch these guys play so far. Really enjoying it at the moment. We'll have to wait and see if they can replicate that on the T side, but at 13-2, if Playing Ducks don't pick up that initial pistol, they're almost done for.
Oh, it is, yeah. You're right. It's going to come down to a fantastic pistol round and then a fantastic I mean, they'd have to, I feels like at this stage, Playing Ducks would have to put different members in the seats, because at this stage, it feels like Playing Ducks, they're at a bit of a down. They haven't really been able to pick up these rounds when they have had advantages. It feels like those slight advantages, those mid-round advantages that they have had, they haven't been able to profit off. And so you're right, and unless they do something magical in this pistol round, it's certainly looking more and more like a mousesports game. And that's the beauty of a best of 1. mousesports got the momentum, and they're running with it.
To say the absolute minimum. But yeah, Playing Ducks can still do well on this. They can pick up a good couple of rounds here or there, as long as I feel they get that first pistol. They need that before they can really do much more. It's just waiting on the teams now, and you can see they are just getting themselves ready in this. So guys, once again, predictions through to us on Twitter, @MachiniTV, @TheyCallMePansy. I think we kind of know where this game's going now. I can imagine most of you probably said mousesports, but let me know what you think of Playing Ducks so far. What do we make of the mousesports changes? This is the first time I've got to really see it in action, and I've got to say, I really like it. So I want to see how well they do now on this T side, coming into the second half, 13-2. Playing Ducks need something close to a miracle, though, at this point.
And we'll see if they can walk on water as we go on into this one. Zonix going to be actually facing off on that long area. Doesn't quite connect any bullets, but in the meantime, you can see KZY's going aggressive with that USP.
Yeah, but it might maybe give Crispy the false confidence to go aggressive as well, but no, he holds his nerve. And 3 players line up by mid. KZY did find Legia, and now the push comes. Beautiful flash. God B does push forward, does get picked up, and now just 2 standing for the T's. It looks like this round should be going the Playing Ducks' way.
It should, but we've seen these kind of rounds slip away from Playing Ducks before. We'll see. You know, they do look to be doing fantastic work onto Zonix as well, and just Chris J Yeah, man who we saw shine so very brightly in the first half. See if he can do the same here. 1v4. 64 HP to his name and unable to connect even onto Crispy. This should be the first round. Should, though, as Keeve does go down. Picking up the USP, favouring that perhaps as 3 members still standing. He's going to be looking to get that bomb down, get a bit of extra money in the bank for the mousesports side. And now here comes the CT side. Numbers stacked against him, players stacked against him as Kirby connects with just 1 bullet from the air. Can I bring that one home? And we said they had to win it. They have. Playing Ducks advanced to the 3rd against 13.
It's a long road for Playing Ducks. It's certainly
road.
possible, but it is just mentally telling yourself round by round. The amount of times I've spoken to players and asked them, how do you ever mentally get out of that mindset? And every single time, you just got to focus on it round by round and take it exactly how it comes and just try and stay focused, try and stay in the moment and just build from there. And Playing Ducks are a side who know how to do that. They're not silly. They're not new to this by any stretch of the imagination. And now, what are the T-side going to do? Can they find a way in here? P250 is not much. And quite the investment from the CTs. So, as you can tell, the gravity of this game is starting to build up here. And mousesports edging in quite affirmatively. And just around the corner is Crispy. KZY finds 1, and this should be a clean round for them, keeping as many alive as possible. Their last man alive is going to be picked up. Crispy getting 3, KZY with 2. And that was a comfortable round for Playing Ducks, maintaining everything and denying the bomb plant.
Absolutely.
Chris J going straight in for the AWP.
Yeah, it's Glass Cannon Chris J, and I mean, he hits the shots, no doubt about it. It's an understandable choice, as they do have that advantage. They can afford to take these risks, but it is a risk. It's exactly that, and we'll see how far it gets him. Does pick up the bomb as well, and he's looking to connect. Oh, not quite able to do so. He does be able to call the presence over towards B site, as he's going to be making a move towards long.
Interesting choice to go long. They spot 2 on the cross, not seeing a 3rd, maybe challenging. Chris J maybe feels either that guy's waiting on the CT side, which could be, or they're stacking out long. So T-side being a little cautious here, and rightfully to do so. Galil still in the mix, still got that AWP. Now, let's see if Playing Ducks can now stop a fully brought up side almost. Big important moment coming through now. Chris J looking like he wants to maybe open towards A. No one there to challenge. 1 minute left. There's a lot of room to breathe here for the T side, as long as they get that real execute down.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Playing Ducks are just clay in the mousesports hand at this stage. mousesports going to be dictating how this round is going to go and at what pace. CGC a bullet connect, taking a chunk out of Keeve as the nades are going to be coming in response. Flashes as well, trying to find something, but they don't manage to. Troubly's the first to pick up 1 though, and here there comes a 2nd already, taking down KZY. Godby is going to be trying to get that bomb down, and Playing Ducks going to be a throwaway any advantage that they did had. You can see this standoff between Tabson and Zonix. In the meantime, Legear does pick up another one. Frags coming in left, right, and center, and none for the CT side. Tabson, the last man standing, and I think he's going to be shaking his head, realizing this is not going to be going too well for the PD side.
No, maybe not expecting the early buy-up. Surely they did, but T-side really making the most of this. Tabson has found 2, and to be fair to the T's, they need to hold on to these guns, but they want to hunt him down. But Tabson showing that if you want to give me some nice free kills and just bump up my scoreline, I'm happy to take it. And even with that in mind, mousesports will be getting so close to match point here. Bearing in mind, it is a best of 1.
Oh.
And just Chris J left alive. Being on 14 rounds means you're very close to that match point marker. Yeah,
dangerously close to that. And I think Playing Ducks know that. They know that they can't afford to make any errors at this point. It's really a tough position to be in as any team, because every single time you feel like you may be slipping up, you can feel that game slipping through your fingers. We're, of course, in a best of 1. And going into this one, you can see mousesports looking to make a move down long and looking to make a pick, perhaps with Troubly with the AWP.
Troubly maybe having the more favorable spawn to Chris J. They will swap over now and go back to the more standard setup, but I still feel we haven't seen enough of Playing Ducks on the CT side to be at this point so early on, but it's the way the cookie crumbles. And Keeve, just with that 5-7, you can see he's playing quite close to shot, maybe going to try and wait on a push, see if he can pick something up for almost free. And even at long, Tabson being cautious still. Everyone is cautious in this round, to say the very least for Playing Ducks, and we know why.
Yeah, I mean, they've learned their lesson. They cannot afford to slip up. They can't afford to overextend, which is something that we have seen work effectively for Playing Ducks in the past, but that playstyle is not going to be a risk worth taking at this stage. Look at that again, KZY chunked down to just 55. Looking to make them pay the price, but doesn't manage to. He's actually forced away. And already, well, it's been exchanged over on the A site. trying to do something with his 5-7, but that's all he has. Back begging for KZY to bring some backup, but it looks like KZY has been down and out by Chris J. Orp once again bringing the frags home, and mousesports looking to advance towards that 15-round mark. Chris J trying for a pick.
But they only have 25 seconds to do this now. They have to make a play out of this one pretty darn fast, and Playducks are still holding these sites to at least an extent. And Legia centimeters away from Crispy. He does get it, and mousesports bringing this one into the action. A is open, and only one man alive now. Kirby pushes through. Legia finds him, and mousesports take it to 15-4.
Cool, calm, collected. Great play from Mouse Esports once again. I mean, look at the CT buy. They're just begging for something, anything. 2 scouts, a Deagle, a FAMAS for Kirby, and the armor pretty scantily clad CT side of this stage as we go on into match point for this T side.
And what a way to open up. Already Keeve down to 6 HP. Chris J just adding insult to injury at this point. Playducks are beaten and broken, and this guy wants to make it feel even worse for them. Crispy, though, does find God B, so at least a 1-for-1 so far.
Yep, numbers 4-4. But look at the health on Keeve. No armor, just 6 HP. He is made of paper at this stage, and again, yeah. Once again, he's very good at holding these standoffs. Patience seems to be a bit of his forte for him. Trebly dancing around the doors, looking to connect onto Crispy. He does have the nade, and of course, actually, Crispy, one of the few to have armor. That nade's not going to take such a big chunk out of him than perhaps expected. As you can see, the bomb is way back at T-spawn. mousesports, they know they've got about a minute on the clock, and they're going to use it.
And why not? Use every second they have. And the T side putting out the mollies. Keeve waiting for the jump shot from short towards A, and he's going to find it. Maybe going to make it a little bit more difficult for the T side, but can't help but feel this is still in their hands. But Kirby is so important here.
He's going to take one. No, he's not even. Legia too quick on the trigger. And another mistake, really, from the PD side. Now just 2 members remain. Keeve and Tabson trying to fight their way and to remain in this battle. 2v2 now. Keeve is going to be trying to respond to that bomb going down, and the T side are going to be putting a time limit on this round, and it's up to Playducks to respond. Match point and 2v2.
Yeah, mousesports seconds away here. Chris J getting a little bit cocky. Gonna go for the peak with the Tech 9. Does get the flash out. Oh, he's waiting. He's holding his nerve. They both go for the peak, and Legia finds one. Chris J now 1v1 up against Tabson. Tabson in on the side. Chris J cautiously, silently peering around. Tabson fakes in. Chris J knows, but he goes out for the peak. He doesn't get it. Tabson gets it, surely. He doesn't have a kit, though. This could be too late. GG is said. Chris J bought just enough time, and mousesports pick up that very important round.
Fantastic performance from mousesports. They didn't let it slip away, and Playducks just didn't bring enough. They did not have enough in their arsenal to really challenge mousesports at that stage, and fantastic performance from them once again. And we've seen a bit of a rivalry brewing between those guys, and mousesports just slap them back and say, oh, yes, 16-8, 16-6 over at EPS. Let's go for a 16-4, and that's what they managed to close that one out to bring the first game of this ESL One Katowice qualifiers to a close. And Lauren, it's going to be... We've got a whole lot more to CSGO to bring these guys this evening.
Yeah, we certainly do. Just going to find out where the other games are in the bracket. Obviously, other games are going on at the same time. We're still in the round of 16. We're going to be casting up to the semi-finals where it will break into those best of 3s. Until that point, still best of 1, so it could be anyone's game.
It could be anyone's game, and do not go anywhere, guys. We're going to be bringing you the second game of this CSGO extravaganza this evening. I've been Alex Machine. This is Lauren Panzi, and we'll be back in 5.